Hey everybody, how you doing? Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook, going live today. I want to just give a shout out and a thanks to everybody who supported me throughout the year. I don't know if you know, but I made uh, the 1,000 mark, and I also became monetized. Couldn't do it without any of you. I just want to say thank you so much. Now, if there's anybody here that wants to pop up, come on the stream. I'll be repeating myself here and there. I'm going to give you my plan, what I'm going to be doing throughout the year coming up. I'm going to change things up a little bit, and just gonna do things a little bit different than the way it's been normally going. So I'll wait till I get somebody coming in here first. Let me see if I'm on the tube video channel. Live. Up and live. Shut that off. I know there's a lot of other channels that are up live right now, so I'm just gonna step in for a little bit. I just want to there again say my thanks, and there's quite a few people I got to thank about it. Anyway, so well, I see one in here. Hello, Lashes. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hope everything is fine. Hope you're doing well. And by the looks of it, looks like you are doing pretty good, kiddo. Pretty proud of you. Sticking to your guns, doing what you got to do. That's what it's all about, right? Let's see what else we got here. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. What's up, brother? He's got a great channel right there. And you know what? Guy can cook too. Mike, what do you got growing? I see you got some new stuff growing. My man from Alaska. Holy moly. How you doing, partner? Well, I'm coming on tonight because I know there's a ton of people on live right now. And what I'm doing is I'm going to let everybody know what I'm doing for the future. And I'm going to thank a lot of people also. As you may know, I hit my 1,000 mark. And then not too long after that, with help from a lot of people, got me to my 4,000, over my 4,000 to become monetized. I'm just waiting on YouTube to let me know what's going on. And with that said, but I'm going to change gears a little bit this year. I still do, with Mike, we still do our Wednesday week lives, the keto show. Also, I'm going to add on a Friday, I'm going to add on just food talk. I'm going to have a couple different people on. And what I want to do is I'm going to set it up pretty soon I'm going to let a couple people know, we can set up a schedule. Like Lashes, for instance, her way of what she's doing to get herself back healthy again. So maybe we might make a little bit of turn, help a little bit of other people. It's just not keto. I mean, it's how you get yourself healthy. That's the bottom line. I just turned 68 in October, and I went to the doctors, and I got a clean bill of health. I mean, he was like mortified. He was like shaking his head about how I came about. We're talking about jumping off a lot more other pills. So I would like to, set something up probably in January. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up in January, probably January 1st, which is a Sunday. I'm going to go on live, and I'm going to set up some kind of deal where I can, get a hold of some other people. And maybe we can set some dates up to get up. And look, there's a lot of keto channels out there that do completely opposite of what I do. Okay. I cook, I eat clean. I don't buy anything in a box. And the best thing I can say is you got to want to do this by yourself. There's no right way of doing anything. If you got to do it according to you, how you feel. So without getting too lost in the weeds, but there's a lot of people that I need to call out, and what really pushed me over the top was in all different genres too, because it was all over the place. I mean, it just wasn't just food. It was everybody else. So Music Logic, what's up, brother? How you doing? Hey, listen, I got to get a hold of you. I'm gonna get some of your. I'm gonna check some of your rubs out, partner. Handicap Travel, what's up, man? Great channel right there. Yeah. So, yep, I did hit my 4,000 mark. I tell you what, they could put some stress on people, boy. It took every 2 days. It took for them to update my my hours, and I had a lot of people pulling for me. I mean, God Almighty, that's why I'm so thankful about it. They were telling me, "Hey, running you again." One guy said, "I go to bed with you talking." He said, "Wake up with you talking." I come home from work, you're talking. So I had 300. It was great. It was just was something else. But I mean, I got down to the last part was I got down to 16 hours, and they don't push over the top. So I guess it was like midnight, and past couple nights I haven't been sleeping well. Just trying to get over this mess. I call it a mess because I don't have patience. So next thing you know, the phone went off. Marie says, "Who was that calling you?" I looked at it and I said, "Wow, YouTube." So I finally made it. I made it over like 4,049 was the final thing that got me over. So I'm just waiting on it right now. It's not a big deal, but that's what we strive for. I mean, I put up a ton of work in this past year, making videos and trying to get my point across. This is me. This is how I'm retired chef, but this is what got me back to where I wanted to be. A little healthy. Like I said, I just turned 60, 68. Usually stuff starts going downhill from this time on, but you know what? For me, it seems to be going up a little bit. So, yeah, ML, I will. I'll send you one out tomorrow, and give me some ideas, some prices, and stuff like that. I'm gonna check out your rubs and stuff. Everybody, I'm gonna put up the link if anybody wants to come up. Let's see what I do here. Now, let me put it here, over there, up here. I should have done this before, but go to channel, you dope. Pin to the top. There we go. Okay. All right, getting back to what I was saying. Nancy, hello. How you doing? I'll say hello to everybody. Barb's Country Home. How you doing, Barb? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm switching gears a little bit. I'm changing things up a little bit. It seemed like I was getting a little meat heavy, and people were questioning me about it. I do a lot of meat and this and that. So all along, I have been sort of doing Mediterranean, all cleaner foods. Nothing. I do nothing from a box. Anything that says keto on it, I run the other way because it's all garbage. And I'm trying to get back to cleaner foods, but I got to watch the carb count because I'm diabetic. I'm not over that hump yet. But with that said, it's coming. I mean, I'm close. I mean, my numbers are running real close to where the doctor's saying, well, you don't need to be on that medication anymore. So, and that's something I never thought I would hear, especially at being 68 years old. So, Indian Hemlock's in the house. Boy, I tell you what, you got to check this guy's channel out. I mean, great, fantastic. Really good stuff. The guy can cook too. I mean, he takes everything out of his backpack and he has lunch or whatever he's cooking. I'm waiting for him to pull out a dining room table with a checkered tablecloth and a waiter. Good stuff, man. Great guy. Great supporter. I mean, everybody that's here right now, great supporter for me. And I can't thank you enough. I really can't. It was something that, you know what's going to happen. You're not going to take, well, everybody said, you got to have patience. Take your time. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. Okay. Because you're not reaching out to anybody else. How can I say this? You have the same people that talk to you back and forth, which is great. Okay. And it kept growing. But in the same token, you want to reach other people. And I don't want to be like watermarked as far as, well, that's the keto guy. That's what, no. That's people have the wrong conception about keto. Mountain Moon, what's up, my man? My girl, my man. Oh God, you want to hear her sing? You got to check these people out. I mean, man, she can sing. Good God Almighty. Yeah. So, like I was saying, uh, you want to be stereotyped with certain things. That's why I'm trying to reach out to everybody. Uh, Everybody eats. Okay, so even if I have one friend of mine from the barbecue community telling me, that's a tough way to go, and you got to cut out this, you got to cut out that. Well, the bottom line is when you go to the doctor and they say, hey, listen, you got to put it on these medications here because you have type 2 diabetes, or you're starting to have heart problems, or it's all basically it's autoimmune. Type 2 anyway, not type childhood diabetes is type 1. But the bottom line is, not to get too long-winded with it, but eventually you're going to start eating cleaner. You're going to start doing it in a different way of doing things. So that's all it is. And it's not hard. Really, really, really is not hard to get a hold of yourself. I have one medication right now. I'm fighting to get off it, and that's $430 a month. That's just for one. That's my end after everything else is said and done. So, Jason, what's up? Jason, did you get there, buddy? Did you get there? Me and Jason were like neck and neck with the same numbers, but I don't know. He's having a hard time getting YouTube to let him know what's going on. I'm good, God Almighty. But I'm running you, brother. I got you running. Also have Drunken Chef running too. He needs to get his time. It's a shame how it doesn't coincide together. 38, 58. I'm going to keep running you. In fact, Marie's going to keep running you also. So we got two machines running, and just let it go. Until you hit me with stop. Charlie, how you doing? Cooking Secrets for Men. Grubby the Beagle. Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Let's see who else. Now, this coming Wednesday on our Mike and I Ketorific Journey with Mike and myself. Here's where I'm turning the page a little bit as far as how we're doing that, and I'm having Charlie come up from Cooking Secrets for Men. We're going to talk about the Mediterranean diet. Now, Charlie's been doing this for a while. It's definitely a cleaner way of eating. I don't care what anybody says. I'll go to the mat with it. But Charlie's going to explain a little bit more to me about it and what he does, and we're going to discuss a little bit different foods and stuff. Charlie, I don't think Charlie has any metabolic problems like I do as far as type 2. So I got to be careful with some beans and stuff. But it is a great way to eat. Now, I got a video coming up that I did today. It'll be coming up in the near future on a little bit of food. A little bit of food, but we made it different ways. And I'm telling you, I'm stuffed. I don't want it anymore. I'm done for the. That's the whole idea. Trying to get yourself full to the point where you don't have to want anything else. So, like I said, I come a long way. I was 2 pounds away from 300 pounds. I was on 12 different medications. I'm on 3, and I just cut one more out. So I'm down to 2, but it's iffy because the 2 I'm on right now is not. They're things that me and the doctor have to discuss, but my numbers got to be even better. So, but with that said, so we're going to start doing that. And then on Fridays, after January, I'm going to start, I'm going to see if Charlie wants to be involved in this also. Come up and bring other people up, talk about foods, just us, nobody else, no open, anybody can come up. We're going to invite different people up. And so between the 3 of us, we'll have different people coming up and discussing different foods from different venues also, not just food. Can be from homesteads. It can be anybody. Okay. But that want to change things up and trying to change their life a little bit. And you know what? I don't care how old you are. You can do it. I'm living proof right here. I'll get hit by a LabCorp truck or something, but until that happens, that's the way, that's the way I'm doing right now. Jason, hello, how you doing? Keto account. Anybody want to come up? I got the It should be pinned on the top if you're on YouTube. Yeah, it's time for the old guys to start speaking their minds a little bit. Trying to get a kick out of that one. Because it's not too late. It really isn't. I mean, put the fan on. Yeah, it's not too late at all to try to get yourself back, even if you get off some medications, because you know what? Any kind of medication you're on is just ridiculous. All right, switching gears here a little bit. So, New Year's Day, it's a Sunday. I am going to be coming live, and I'm going to chat a little bit about where I'm going this year, what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I plan on doing some live cooks. I'm going to try to see if I can get somebody else to come up with me to do side by side cooks, different takes on how we cook. We'll come up with like maybe a week ahead of time. I'll give somebody, like want to do some chicken or whatever. Okay. And you do your chicken your way, I do chicken my way, and just different takes on how people prepare their foods. I think that could be kind of interesting. I think I would watch something like that anyway. And then on January 8th, I'm going to wait because I hit 2 milestones. I hit pretty close together. I hit my 1,000 subscribers and also hit the 4,000. So on January 8th, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway. Okay. And I'm going to change things up a little bit. I am going to probably give some gift cards out, okay, and stuff like that. It's not going to be a lot, but enough to get people's attention. Hey, even if you use it, throw $10 worth of gas in your car or something like that. Maybe to buy different kinds of food or whatever. But that's what I'm going to be doing on January 8th. On January 1st, I'll let you know what time it is. So that's like a week apart. But there's a ton of people that I got to thank. There's a ton of people that I just need to call out, because without all these people, Sheena's in the house. I tell you what, Sheena's been pushing for me since I know her. Okay. Nancy. Okay. Everybody back crazy. There we go. All right. The gang is all here. These people are terrific. Okay. Just say the word and bang, they're right there. Okay. I'm sure half of them are sick of hearing my voice if they play any of my videos with the volume on. But or they should have lost some weight, one of the two. Either way. But there again, I can't thank them enough. And it's just a community alone. Just how people just stop and think about it. Half everybody that's not half, probably all that's on right now in the chat, I would never have met you ever. Okay, if it wasn't for this YouTube and this community. And it's just not the food community. Okay, I mean homesteads, every kind of genre that's there. That's on YouTube. There's people that's involved. Great. I mean, you just can't beat it. My daughter says to me, "Oh, my dad is the YouTube star." That's not. Basically what it is. It's everybody helping one another. When I first started here, I thought, you put something out and you get somebody that you don't know is going to like it and whatever, subscribe the whole bit. But it's everybody that's involved. Okay. There's a lot of creators. Okay. There's a lot of people who shout other people out, just supporters, like Sheena says all the time. I'm not well versed like my friend Sheena. She can talk it out, but I stumble here and there. But the bottom line is, without none of you, okay, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all. I know there's a couple other lives going on right now of Belt Loop and Devil Dog. I started with watching them guys. In fact, they invited me up to come on on their lives. I'm telling you, back when I had 150, if I had 150. So all good people. Everybody goes their own different way. Everybody's looking for their own little niche, whatever they want to call it. But there again, and here's another big person right here. Nets Vlog 21. She helped me out big time. I mean, just all great people. Michelle's in the house right here. Michelle, my raindrop life. All right. From the beginning, I believe I had 40 people, okay, that was subscribed to me, or 49, and she became my 50th. Okay. I mean, and still, we still talk back and forth. I still watch whatever. She's here with me. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, like I said, January 1st, I'm going to be going live, and I'm going to different direction. I'm going to tell everybody which way I'm going and how I'm doing it. I'm going to change things up a lot. I'm going to try not to do the same stuff over and over and over again, but I'm going to involve a lot more people. So, like I said, January 8th, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give some gift cards away and some other stuff, just for my thanks. Right now, for me to do a giveaway before Christmas or after, in that time frame, everybody's busy right now. So I'd rather wait and then get everybody's attention. It's not going to be cheese ball, that's for sure. And I want to make sure everybody gets the recognition that they deserve, and just for helping out. Now, the only problem I'm going to have is about overseas, people from overseas, but I'm not ruling it out, because I have a couple different things that I'm going to want to be giving away. Now, most people, I don't know if they see, but this past year we gave away olive oil bottles. Now, the olive oil bottles was a brainstorm of mine, okay, that my wife, Marie, most people know Marie, at Meg's Mystery. She also has a channel. We're going to try to boost her up this year too. My goal is this time next year, I want Marie to be at 1,000 also. She deserves it, well deserves it. But olive oil was a brainstorm of mine from back in the days when I was in the restaurant business, okay, cooking on the line. I had a hard time deciphering different oils that I had, different bottles, vinegars and stuff like that. So I said, you know what would be a good idea if I put olive oil on the bottle? Well, anyway, we wrote it on the bottle, but I mean her picture. So I drink the wine, Marie paints the bottles. So how this all came about was my neighbor, okay? Marie made me a bottle, okay? And that's what I've been using. And this time last year, Christmas time, my neighbor, who also helped me out a lot, okay? Her name is The Road to Good Cooking. If you can, check her out. Great channel, great channel, great person. And she was the one who kickstarted me to get going. Man, you should do on YouTube. Man, you should be on YouTube. Okay. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. Be on YouTube. What do I look like a clown? But she also has a cooking channel. All right. And she introduced me to all the barbecue people and everybody that she knew. So I thought, as a gesture, Christmas time, I said, you know what? Let's make her a bottle. We'll paint her up a bottle. And it started from there. And a couple other people from there. But then what I did was, most people who supported me a lot, that was my deal. That's when I said, you know what? I'm going to start giving out bottles. So anyway, we just sent out the last bunch. Like I said, I gave my liver a break. Too much wine. But the bottom line is, next year I'm going to do that also. But January 8th, I'm going to be announcing also, whoever does have an olive oil bottle is going to be entered into a collab. And the collab is going to go out throughout the year. It's not just going to be one day and everybody. It's going to be break it up throughout the year. And it's going to involve olive oil and the olive oil bottle. And we're going to make it the Olive Oil Club. All right. So I'll be letting people know about that. I'm trying to get more people involved. Here's my deal. I want people to cook. Stop buying junk food out. Okay. Take out food and stuff. Start cooking at home. Take care of your health. Okay. Watch what you're eating, because you don't know what kind of crap they're putting into this takeout food and that kind of stuff. So the best thing to do is start cooking at home. So that's my plan for next year, for 2023. Let me catch up here, see who we got. If I missed anybody, Nets is in the house, I said. Jason. Jason's at 38.58. Anybody who has an extra machine, Jason's from over yonder. Hey, my man, Jason.
Hey,
Mr. Keto, how you doing, buddy?
good. How you doing?
I can't complain. Nobody will listen.
I hear you, man.
How's the weather? How you doing up there?
Oh, it's cold and rainy.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
For how many months now?
Oh, just a couple of weeks for now.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a wise guy in the basement. I gotta let him up.
Hey, Tom.
You better go do some dishes. You better go do some dishes.
You. Hey, Tom, what's up?
Not too much there, DJ. Not too much. I came on tonight to thank everybody for helping me get over the hump and getting to my milestone, which everybody strives for. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody thrives to get to that 1,000 and also get there to get monetized. Whether it's pennies or not, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, hey, singer, hey, solid, hey, teacup, travel, and Nancy.
Michelle, thank you for dropping Miss Rhodes' channel. Great person. Trending Live TV. Thank you, Trending. Appreciate it. I know Sheena's going on a little while, so I don't want to step on nobody's toes here.
Hey, back crazy. Glad to see all of y'all. Yeah,
Okay.
just thought I would pop up and mess with this guy. So.
Jason, me, and the drunken chef were doing a live cook. Okay, first time I ever done that. A couple weeks ago. All right, so
yeah,
this wise guy right here. All right, he sends my wife a message and says, after Tom gets done making that mess, make sure he washes the dishes. So that's been our little tiff back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Good guy.
No, I wanted to drop in here. I had posted on my other account. For some reason, this account on here is blocked on your channel. I can't post on your live streams with my account for some reason. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I didn't block anybody, but I will check it out. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was your Nightbot for some reason. At some point, I did something it didn't like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? What it was on there was I don't know how to do it now because I wound up losing everybody. But when I get off, I'll make sure.
Yeah. No worries.
Up.
Yeah.
I had a person who I just met a couple weeks ago, who I just met in the morning. I'll help you out. I'll get you where you want to go. She come on the channel, and my own stupid fault because I have Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook, all in capital letters. Well, she reposted it and got put in timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to change all that stuff up.
Yeah, it's no worries. Just thought I'd let you know.
Jason, how you doing?
Oh, I'm surviving, trying to figure out this YouTube thing.
Yeah. How long have you been doing keto now?
I started keto almost 4 years ago now.
Okay.
So YouTube almost 2 years ago. It's it's been a journey, that's for sure.
I like your stuff. I like the way you do things with it. I'm not the conventional guy with keto. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I don't go any other way with like the protein sparing modified stuff. I don't do none of that. Okay. this time last year is when I introduced myself to coconut flour and almond flour, just because it was the holidays and make something sweet with some monk fruit. And I tell you what, that threw me into a tizzy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't have that kind of stuff.
Yeah, neither can I.
Yeah. So we even did the chaffles with the cocoa and stuff like that, which wasn't bad. I mean, but my theory is, I got to the point where I don't crave anything anymore. So why make it?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's basically where I landed now. So
Yeah. Well, honestly, even what I make for my videos, most of the time, I just make it for videos. It's not
Yeah.
something that I crave or eat all the time. My day-to-day diet is pretty bland, pretty boring. It's mostly protein. So, but I'd make the chaffles and the fat bombs and
yeah.
stuff like that, mainly for the channel, because people seem to like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I did lean on it pretty heavy when I first started keto, so it's something I did for quite a while.
Well, when I first started, it wasn't so much the weight loss that I was looking for. I was looking to get my health back. Like I said, I just turned 68, but when I started it, I had a lot of issues. I mean, I've had
It's all good to go on.
What are you going to say? What? I don't do the dishes? Is that what you're going to say?
No. I'm just replying to chat.
Oh, okay.
Bob got in there and literally said, "Hey, DJ." So I'm just
Okay.
saying,
All right.
"Hey, back."
No
But
problem.
yes, you need to do the dishes.
Say this guy here. Too funny. So
Yeah. And
what I did was I lost like 30 pounds in the first couple weeks. And when I went to my doctor, he turned around and said, "Well, that's water weight." No, it's weight. I don't care what you say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I took it up a step from there. But now what I'm doing is I'm taking old stuff that I used to make in a restaurant and I'm making it keto friendly. I switched over a little bit. I've been doing it a while, and people ask me why Mediterranean. You can't have beans. Well, I'm not having beans. I'm not having anything that has anything to do with any pastas or anything else like that. And what I do is I watch a ton of other channels that do cook keto or that lifestyle type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and watch what they're doing and stuff like that, and just changing things up. That's all I'm doing, just to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yep.
So I forget what video it was, but I took chaffles and I made shrimp. I took some lobster. I minced up some lobster and scallops.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed it in with the chaffle mix, and I
Sure.
made that almost like shrimp toast, like you would get in a Chinese restaurant.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, like you can take a lot of different things that have been a keto kind of thing and make it unique, and because a regular chaffle is
yeah,
it works good as a burger bun, but that's about it.
and that's right. In the beginning, my daughter says to me, "Hey, Pop, have you ever tried a chaffle?" What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me the little machine. Try it. She gave me the recipe. Hey, here's what you make. I said, you know what? That's not bad. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, trigger wise, you know what I mean? I was a big bread guy. I used to make my own bread, my own pizza dough and stuff like that. That was my kryptonite. And big ice cream hound. But there again, I was 2 pounds away from 300. Okay, I was on all kinds of different medications and fight through the headaches with the sugar and all that nonsense. But now I don't, like I said, I don't crave it. So my wife makes the chaffles once in a while. I'll make a tri-tip. I'll put it on a slice and we'll make sandwiches out of that or something like that. But it's not my go-to. So that's my whole thing. I'm trying to switch things up to where I don't talk too much about keto on my channel. I'll say it's keto friendly and go like that. But that's how I cook, and that's what I'm trying to explain to people. It's not hard. It's really not hard to do. Once you get past the cravings and get yourself on track with it, you're good. I mean, a lot of people right now are having a hard time with holidays coming up. Wow, the holidays, this and that.
Yeah, it's if you know why you want to do it and you can focus on that, then it's like you've said, it's a lot of people, if they start doing things like different diets and different lifestyles solely for the weight, a lot of people are going to struggle with that. If you have something else to focus on, like my story is, yes, I was overweight when I started, but it was more because I also had a 2-year-old grandson that was running me ragged. I couldn't keep up with him. So it was like, okay, well, I know I'm, 80 pounds overweight. So maybe if I do something about that, then I can have a better time hanging out with my grandkids. Right. So that was why I started. And, now it's kind of it's a health thing, trying to stay healthy. And, it's a struggle for the first while, but once you turn it into a lifestyle, then it's just second nature after 4 years kind of thing.
Yeah. 805, I have no clue where super chat or anything. I have no idea. Wouldn't know where to look.
Well, I believe you got talking about on in mom position, Tom.
Okay. No.
So
I'll deal with that another day.
yeah, okay.
And I'll deal with that another day. I don't know. Raquel, welcome. Seeing you see what time it is. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I got to the point where everybody that I talk to, everybody I'm friends with on here, say, well, with the with the keto life, it's a lifestyle as far as I'm concerned. It's just like I bring it back to if an alcoholic is drinking near beer, okay, he hasn't gotten over the cravings yet. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for sweets and stuff like that, you haven't gotten rid of the sugar yet in your system or get away from it. So.
Yep. Yeah. You're 100% right. Once you've gotten away from it long enough, I don't know. One of the things I've really found with keto is, and trying to get rid of the sweet cravings, is trying not to be so afraid of salt in the diet. Because everybody is so terrified of salt. And with me, if I make sure I get enough sodium in my diet, then I don't crave sweet things anymore.
You know what? And I really don't crave that much as far as salt. I mean, I use a lot of salt. I put a ton of salt on, but I don't. I mean, as far as anything else is, I don't crave it. I mean, it's. Yeah.
Your body's pretty smart, though. If you weren't getting enough sodium, you would crave it. So like it's an essential mineral, right? So if you need it, you're going to crave it. If you're getting enough, then you're not going to be searching it out. If you get enough in you're eating as part of your daily diet. And personally, I add it to coffee and things like that as well. So
yeah, I mean, I dealt with bladder cancer, so I mean, I know, fighting with kidneys and stuff like that. You got to watch the sodium and this and that. Want to calm everything down. No, I'm sorry. That's no. I need to put my salt on it and just run.
This was Tom. Bye.
You're out of here?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming in, my man. He's a good guy, DJ. He's a ball breaker, but he's a good guy.
You got to have someone like that in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got enough of them, believe me. He just added one more to the crowd. But, yeah, you know, maybe this coming year, um, we do Wednesdays. Mike, myself, if you know Mike, Ketorific Mike,
Hmm.
Ketorific Journey with Mike. We do our keto show. So anytime you're around, pop in.
Hmm.
Don't worry about it. Just come on up. In fact, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to close it off to where just a couple of us will come up and discuss. You know, we'll get some kind of idea what we want to talk about ahead of time, and then we'll do that. I'm trying to get it to where the point where people not to treat it like it's a diet.
Hmm.
Most people that go on diets fail,
Yep.
and just to change up to be a lifestyle. Okay, uh, you know, if you smoke, you're going to get cancer. So
Hmm.
most people don't smoke. There's still people that smoke, whatever. Same thing with drinking. Same thing with whatever. Okay, so it's just a lifestyle. But if more and more people talk about it, that make it a little bit easier, I think it, you know, and different ways of cooking things. So
Sure. Yeah. It's, one thing I've learned over the last 4 years, a lot of people have noticed, okay, day to day, oh, well, you've lost a lot of weight. And unfortunately, you can tell right away whether or not someone is, if someone's interested, okay, well, how'd you lose, all that weight?
yeah,
It turns, you can tell right away whether or not they're in that diet mindset or they really truly want to know what you did, and that's why when people ask me, I don't typically even say anything about keto. Basically
exactly.
all I do is say I just stopped eating junk food.
Yeah,
I eat real food, and because that's at the end of the day, that's what really matters. As long as you're eating real whole food and staying away from some of these foods that supposedly are good for us, then you know uh, you don't have to be eating keto necessarily to get the
right.
results that you need to.
I watch. I don't know if you follow Eric Westman. He's
I've
out of
seen some of his stuff. Yeah.
out of Duke University,
Hmm.
and you know he pretty much drew the line about where you know what dirty keto's okay too.
Hmm.
You know, he don't have any problems with that stuff. So when you get an authority that you know he took over most of Atkins' research, and because Atkins is very close to what we do,
Hmm.
but when he took that over and when he started saying that stuff, he got a lot of controversy. Matter of fact, him and Ken Berry butt heads once in a while, but they're on the same page with it. You know,
Hmm.
uh, but yeah, I mean, there's certain things that I can have that you can't. Certain things that you have that I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it's what you put into it, but you can't be afraid of it. It's not one set thing for everybody. So
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like, well, I jumped on and did a live last night, and that's what I was saying too. It's like I don't care what. At the end of the day, there are some diets that I really can't get on board with, but
yeah,
I don't really care what people do, as long as it doesn't involve, junk food and ultra processed, foods that are you can't even pronounce half the ingredients. And
exactly.
you were talking about, and I put this on my live last night. You're talking about keto junk, like things like this.
Yeah,
Says, it says keto friendly on it. They're these tortilla chips. Now, this is something that was shipped to me for free when I ordered something else from a company. This is not keto.
yeah,
This is barely even better than Doritos. Like the first four ingredients are wheat and oats,
yeah.
but they still call it keto. So unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of companies that are trying to take advantage of the low carb thing.
Just stop and think. If you go to the doctor, okay, and right away you have that metabolic syndrome. As soon as you
Hmm.
have a belly, okay,
Yeah.
bang, they pinpoint you. Guess what? Well, I'm going to check you for this because guess what? You might have type 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I followed that whole gauntlet, and they actually put me on insulin. I was on insulin for maybe 4 or 5 days. I said, I ain't taking this crap. No, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely horrible. Well, come to find out, I was insulin resistant. I got that now under control. They said, no, you'll never be able to get off these medications. Never. Well, that's what they want. Don't get me wrong. When I say they, I'm not no conspiracy theorist or anything else like that. Okay. But it's a mindset that, you go to McDonald's, you can have a McDonald's burger, but take the bun off and no French fries. What the hell are you talking about? Why would I even want to go to McDonald's in the first place if I'm going to take the bun off it and have no French fries? So it doesn't make any sense, So that's why I'm pushing for people to cook themselves. Find out exactly what you're making.
Yeah.
You go to the store. I go to Sprouts down here, which is supposedly organic, but I don't follow the organic stuff too because I know firsthand that most of the stuff is not organic.
Right.
But you go and I pick up kale. All right. You look for the label. Okay. And what it says on the label is, what's in this? Kale. And it's green.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. That's all you need to know. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is tough. I think one of the biggest problems is over the last, since I was in school, many decades ago, even back then, they barely taught kids how to cook. Like, and nobody knows how to cook for themselves anymore. Hardly, like no kids coming up now know how to prepare their own meals, how to get, take real ingredients. All they know how to do is put a box of KD in the pan and boil the water like that and order pizza. Unfortunately, and that's the way they've been brought up. And unfortunately, until you break that cycle, and that's what it's good what you're doing, trying to bring attention to the real food and what you can do with it to make it easy and interesting, right?
I went to actually today I did a video and by the time I put it up to edit it and look at it, it was like 40 minutes long. Okay, so I had one friend who sort of mentored me about keto. I'm not keto, about YouTube, how to navigate through YouTube, and he told me a while back that, you know what, if your video takes 20 minutes to get the point, put it up. There will be people that will watch it. The people that are telling you, oh, I can't watch a video over 5 minutes, this and that, they're not interested in your stuff to begin with. So, but I would never do that as far as a 40-minute. But I'm trying to change things up where explain things a little bit more, why and how come, and that kind of stuff. The people that are in culinary school today, they're not really learning how to cook. They're learning the business. They're learning the business end of it. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's no more cooks, as far as going in and have the passion to make stuff. So even if you take a hamburger, a chopped meat, okay, and you make yourself your own hamburger, at the end of the day, boy, that thing really tasted pretty good. You know what I mean? And that's the stepping stone, to taking off with it. Hello, Morgan. How you doing? Nice to see you. I grind all my own stuff. I buy bulk. I'll grind up everything like that. I'll buy fresh broccoli. Steam it up a little bit, blanch it, and then freeze it. Put it in a freezer bag. All fresh stuff. What I don't do, and I don't know if I should be doing it or not, is any kind of canning or anything like that. And I don't know how to do that. So, not that I wouldn't, but I would like to learn and give it a try. But most of the time, that's what I do. The vegetables I do, or I buy them that day and just make it, because our eating habits have changed, Jason. I mean, it just went, we don't eat like we did before. Holy crap. So everything has changed in our life to where now with the Mediterranean, we're eating a little bit smaller amount. Okay. And it's more like picky stuff. Okay. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. For myself, it's the same thing. Well, I don't buy all fresh stuff. Thankfully, I have a local farm that I buy most of my meat from.
Mhm.
So it's about as close to being, fresh as possible. It's all frozen when I buy it, but
Yeah.
there's no processing that goes in with it. So it's, I'm lucky that way, and I get, local, free range eggs from another guy. And the only thing we really make is we grow tomatoes during the summer and just make our own tomato sauce, with no sugar, and it's nice and really low ingredients. So
Nothing like it.
yeah, unfortunately, I've got a really my diet, like I was saying earlier, is I don't really care what I eat. I eat to fuel what I do, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't personally, if I can go out and I can grill up 3 burgers and throw some salt on it, that's a meal for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now my wife is she doesn't keto, so it's kind of there's more, making a protein, and then she has whatever she has with it. But it makes it a little more difficult, but still make it work.
my wife, there's nothing wrong with her. She don't take a pill. In fact, I got to fight with her to take vitamins. Okay, but she don't take anything.
Mhm.
But she went keto. She lost 46 pounds.
Mhm.
Okay, feels great. All right, like I said, we're both 68 years old, and the weather change right here. I mean, not compared to where you're at, but I mean, the past couple nights it's been in 30, 38, 40. You're waking up in the morning, it's a little chilly.
Mhm.
And 2 years ago, I couldn't move. In fact, I
Yeah.
had one of them little scooters and walked with a cane and stuff like that. No more. It's all gone. So it really does work. It really does help. There
Mhm.
again, no matter what you think is working for you, if it's working for you and you feel better, do it.
Yeah,
There's no law. I mean, there's nobody can
for sure. Yeah, it's
come knock on
funny.
your door and say you can't do this, you can't do that. Get the hell out of here. You're crazy if you're even thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the one thing I did notice when I lost the weight that I did is that I get cold a lot easier now. Unfortunately,
No more insulation.
it's harder to stay warm, that's for sure. And when it gets definitely during the winter nowadays, it's I can definitely feel it more, but it's a
Well, wait a minute.
trade-off
What's
I'm
up?
willing to make.
Thanks for coming in, Dork. Appreciate it. A lot of great people here. Wow.
Hmm.
A lot of great people. Do you find if you try, see, in the past, I've had trouble with what they say nightshades. Ooh, must be the nightshades and stuff that you're eating. Now I have no problems with them. Since I dumped the sugars and the carb. Don't forget, carbs turn into sugar no matter how you add it up.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So, see, well, it has less sugar, but the carbs are a little high, so that's still sugar. It's going to wind up changing the sugar. And then, do you net carbs? Or you do total carbs?
To be honest with you, I don't track anything
There you
because
go.
I eat mostly protein, so I don't, and some vegetables. So I'm not. I used to when I first started, but
Doesn't make any
it's
sense.
I do. I'm aware of the carbs that I eat, but I don't worry too much about it. I just know what works for me. I've had to adjust over the last 4 years. I've come in the last 3 months, even just that short a time. I've basically come to realize that I don't deal with dairy very well.
Ah,
So like just regular cheese and that, me and cheese don't get along too well. And I've known for a long time that I can't handle things like heavy whipping cream and
really?
regular milk and stuff like that. I can't tolerate it. So, but I'd always stuck with the cheese, and then there was just still, even when I went keto, there was still some nagging digestion
Yeah.
issues that I was having. So
Hmm.
now I've cut out cheese for the last few weeks, and it's made a big difference.
Yeah. See, I'm like I said with the night shift. Lately, I've been eating a lot more. I've been roasting red peppers, um,
Mhm.
eating a little bit of that, incorporating that to some dishes and stuff. I also brought back in some eggplant and stuff. You'll see a couple videos I did now with the Mediterranean with that, and I've noticed if I went with the Japanese or the Chinese eggplant, did even better with it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I guess the defense mechanism that's in eggplant, because it'll start turning, and as soon as you cut it, it'll start turning.
Right.
So with the other ones, with the Japanese and the Chinese, they're not as bitter. You don't have to salt them. You don't have to soak them. So it's not that bad of a deal. Tomatoes, I've been cooking a little bit more instead of eating raw tomatoes.
Hmm.
I've been cooking them, roasting them, whatever, and they seem to be working out a lot easier. Uh, some cheese I have a problem with because you start having the tent. When I first started this, I was like, "Whoa, I need a cow for more the cheese I'm taking in."
Right.
Okay, and then all of a sudden you go into that stall period as I'm chewing on some cheese and saying, "What the hell's going on?" So I backed off the cheese.
Yeah.
So now what I do is I take whatever I'm making, I'll take that and I'll cut it in half,
Hmm.
the cheese, and then I'll cut it in half again, and that's the amount of cheese I'll put on it. And then what I did was I don't buy, well, I shouldn't say that. Okay. I want to be upfront truthful here. I haven't been buying shredded cheese because of the starch. Okay. The potato starch they put on the shredded. So it
Right.
don't clump together. So I was buying in bulk and cutting up the bulk like that. But the bulk I was eating more.
Right.
Okay. So what I did was I went back and I said, I'll sacrifice a little bit, but I cut back a lot more on the cheese. So we'll have like after dinner, I'll have like the cheese crackers. I love all of a sudden I'm loving jalapenos. Been making jalapenos and onion cheese crackers. Okay. And I'll have a little bit of pepperoni, whatever, or whatever. And that's it for the night. But last week I had a couple grapes. Okay.
Hmm.
Jason, it was like somebody lit a fuse under me and shot me up through. I was hovering around the moon. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I got an instant headache.
Hmm.
I felt like, I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So I know I got to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Right.
So the triggers are a lot more severe
Hmm.
than before. So better
Yeah.
we say no. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's just like anything, right? If you stay away from anything long enough, uh, if it's, well, if you don't have a glass of wine or a drink for 6 months, you know,
Right.
one drink is just gonna, you're gonna wake up feeling like trash the next day. So it is the same way. And for the most part, for the 4 years, I've not intentionally gone off plan. I don't do cheat meals. I don't do any of that because my personality is one cheat meal is going to be two cheat meals and then it's going
Oh
to be a
yeah.
cheat day and whatever. So I just avoid it altogether. But I have inadvertently a couple of times, been out at parties and stuff like that and had something that, oh, well, this looks all right. But then, the next day you wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a truck. So, so it is, it happens, but, it's, again, the only way that I can think about this lifestyle is that I can't, I'm a former smoker too. I smoked for,
Ooh.
all through my teens and 20s. Right. So, but then I quit that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where my personality is, and this doesn't work for everyone, is I have to, when I'm going to do something, I do it. And, when I started keto, I stopped eating all grains and sugars on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I didn't go back. Same with when I stopped smoking. I picked a day and I was like, okay, well, that's it. I'm done. And they were both tough, but, because quitting sugar is no joke, especially when you've lived with it for so long.
I quit smoking. I was smoking. There was a lot behind it. Okay, why I picked up my smoking, but I mean I smoked probably from when I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just before I quit, probably the year before I quit, I was doing 5 packs a day. That's 100 cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Stress level I had in my life at that point was like through the roof. And then on top of it, but I knew something was wrong. Just something wasn't feeling right. Like I said, I was always close to 300 pounds. Always. Never hit. I might have hit it, but not that I was ever was recorded that I hit 300 pounds. Okay. And I just felt like crap. And I said, you know what? I've had enough. I crunched up the pack. I was living in North Carolina at the time, moved from New Jersey to North Carolina, threw the pack out the window, and that was it. 2 months down the road, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer.
Mm.
And they said, well, you're a smoker? I said, yeah, like a freight train.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that had a lot to do with it. And then once I got past that hurdle, you know what I mean? Well, it wasn't until about 2 years ago that I got, 3 years ago that I got past that hurdle. But it was an ongoing thing. And that was the regret I had. Okay. So, but everybody says, well, you just put them down. You just, from going from that extreme to where you're at now. I said, yeah, no, I felt my body. My body was telling me something's wrong. Stop it. And that's exactly what happened. And on top of it, doing the treatment I was doing, they said, plays hell with your liver and your pancreas. And next thing you know, they told me I was type 2 diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't do my treatment anymore. So that was, 2 things that were going. And then you start chasing your tail, heart problems because of medications and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? I had enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I started keto in 2016. And I did it for a year. I lost 44 and a half pounds. And then I went back, like you said, well, I can have that. I have just one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can have that with just one. And then next thing you know, well, maybe let me go back to start the keto again. And that's the worst thing people can do.
Yeah.
Because once you start mixing the fats and the carbs together, guess what? You're a fat man again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a matter of time. But then I said, this time last year, last June is actually when I started back on keto again. I said, I've had enough. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal was because I was having a hard time taking the pills. Couldn't walk, broke my leg, broke my ankle, my other foot. And it just was a mess. And I felt the old man syndrome coming up. I had that old guy sticking behind me. You know what I mean? Coming to get you, guy, coming to get you.
Yeah. And this just drives me crazy is one of these things that, and it's, I don't know, for me, my wife's a bit older than I am. So, and I kind of relocated.
Hello, Sue.
Sort of where I lived about 20 years ago, so I don't, most of the friends I have now are, my wife's friends. So they're a bit older than I am. And even everyone I'm around, like, I don't understand this. Oh, well, you're over 50. It's normal to be taking all this drugs. It's normal to feel like you're getting old and decrepit. Like, I don't understand it. I do understand it because if I hadn't changed my lifestyle, then I'd probably feel the same way. But, I'm 52 now, and, I don't take any medications. I don't have, I have some nagging injuries from sports I played when I was younger, but other than that, I don't have, I don't have any arthritis. I don't have any back pains or anything. So, but the problem is that as soon as you say to people, okay, well, if you want to feel better, stop eating sugar, stop eating grains. And they're like, oh, well, no, I can't do that.
Uncle Steve.
I'd rather just continue on with my life and, try and put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. Uncle Steve shakes in here right now. Steve has his own brand of shakes now. Mostly with the barbecue world and stuff like that. He has all different types of shakes and stuff. But me and Uncle Steve had a chat one night, and he assured me that I will make sure I will send you out the right stuff. And I got to tell you this, 100% sure. His stuff is really good, and I tell you what, no sugars in it. Man of his word with it. And I use his stuff exclusively him and Drunken Chef. Okay, I have another fellow that was in before. I'm going to get some of his stuff, but Steve's stuff is perfect. You want to switch things up on keto. Listen, he has this stuff called Gator Shake. Okay,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, I put it on my salad when I have a
Oh, yeah.
salad. I'll put it on vegetables. Okay, yeah, not just on. I mean, he's got some good stuff, and he's got some good heat stuff. Good stuff. So if you're interested in it, go to my about page, and I'll make sure I drop a link in there for Uncle Steve, where you can go right to him. Uncle Steve Shakes, good stuff, great guy. He'll work with you. He won't send you out anything that has any kind of sugar in it. But I got to tell you, people tell me that he has a barbecue sauce that is better than anything that's on the market. So
Yeah,
great guy.
it's pretty tough finding things like that. Like I know, especially here in Canada, it's kind of hard to find any kind of seasonings or barbecue sauces or anything like that that isn't,
Sugar.
mostly all sugar, right?
Well, you know what? He sent me out some samplers. I bought two things from him, and he sent me out a bunch of samplers and what he said. Now, some of it does have, most of it does have cornstarch in it, but I
Mhm.
mean minimal, just so it
Yeah.
doesn't clump up or anything. And that's I understand that. Okay,
Mhm.
but I'll tell you what, the stuff that I use that of his, I mean, enhances the flavor, and it just gives you that little sense of, you know what, I can have this stuff. You know, I still barbecue. I just don't use any sugars. I don't any high carbs and stuff like that. But no,
Sure.
he's got a great line of stuff. And yeah, anybody check him out, please. Uncle Steve Shakes. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah. Matter of fact, I got to order some more stuff from him. I got to. He's got. I use this spicy yard that he has. I use that a lot also. That is really good. But the Gator Shake is my go-to. And I always heard everybody talking about it. I got to try the Gator Shake. Gator Shake. I said, let me try it. And I tell you what, it's that good. It really is that good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole sugar thing is, everyone's like, oh well, I'll avoid sugar, but it's almost impossible now. Unless you are getting small batch products that are people are paying attention to, because even things that you don't think are sugar, you're getting the sugar. It just doesn't say sugar on the label anymore. So
If you need a dictionary to understand what the ingredient is, 9
Mhm.
times out of 10 it's sugar.
Yeah.
Here's the sad part about it is um, the alternatives that they have for no sugar. Okay, it's still sugar. I mean, monk fruit, sugar may affect you differently.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't affect you like cane sugar, but
Mhm.
it's still sugar. Your
Yeah.
liver has no clue that it's monk fruit or if it's cane sugar. It has no clue.
Yeah.
As soon
Yeah.
as you shove something in your face, insulin pumps right up, and well, something's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That cephalic insulin response, to
Yeah,
sweet things in your mouth you're right. It ultimately, when it's digested, it can be a little bit different. I've seen I don't know if you ever seen the trial that Keto Connect did years ago. I don't know if you
Eh,
know Keto Connect on YouTube. They don't post
yeah.
very much anymore. They've been growing their family, but they did a sort of you know self experiment years ago with all the alternatives that you can get, and this was before even, I think it was even before allulose was a thing. But you're right, a lot of those substitutes, reacted even worse than sugar. Like you see maltodextrin on everything
Yeah,
nowadays. Like
yeah.
it's used more than sugar now, and everyone's like, oh, well, it's got no sugar, but
What-
maltodextrin's worse than sugar.
You know what I get to, Jason? I get when it bothers me is when it says no sugar added, so it's good.
Yeah,
Come on,
okay.
come on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When I was dealing with bladder cancer, okay, I went through the myth, okay, of stay away from animal fat, okay,
Hmm.
um, watch the chicken protein, this and that. So what I did was I juiced.
Okay.
I juiced for 6 months, okay, and my juicing was, um, I do a couple Granny Smith apples because they were the lowest in sugar.
Mhm.
Okay. And here was the myth. All right. Carrots and apples was the cancer killer for bladder cancer. Okay. And that was from a doctor from, I can't remember exactly where it was, but this guy was back in the 20s. He had the carrot diet for bladder cancer, exclusively for bladder cancer. And then it was told to me to add a little bit of beet to it. Natural sugars is okay. You can have that. Well, I couldn't get my damn blood sugar below 250. Okay.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I started doing the ketogenic lifestyle that I had 18 tumors removed and 8 surgeries in a 3-year period. Okay.
Mhm.
And then when I started doing keto, laid off all that other crap, is when I was the first time I was ever told that I was cancer free. It was
Mhm.
3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, I mean, there I was taking the medication, and I was drinking sugar. That's
Yeah.
basically what I was doing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's a really bizarre thing to get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, and drink kale, collards, and an apple.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're basically setting yourself up to be hungry for the whole day.
Exactly. No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah. So once I started adding everything back in it again, and then I came around. But sugar's everywhere. Sugar's the killer, and that's my opinion. Okay.
Mhm.
I got to the point.
It's
Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. No, so I got myself to the point where I lost. Right now, I count my weight loss like I count the subscribers before I hit the 1,000. Okay, until they really stick, then I count it. Okay,
Sure.
so now I'm up to 58 pounds that I have lost, and I'm just moving along. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's all you can really do. You know, it's, and everybody is different. You know, I feel, and then this is just my opinion about lifestyle, is that, like it or not, people's bodies are all different. You know, I got to a point in the first year where I was under 200 pounds, but I personally thought, or my body reacted as if that was too little. Right. So, you know, ultimately I've settled somewhere just over 200 pounds. So,
Yeah, I'm like I said, I was 298, 299, and I never really. I'm sure I did go over into the 300-pound range, but nothing that was. And right now I'm 242. Pretty happy.
Yeah.
I fight back and forth with that, going that way. But well, are you in a stall? I'm not worried about it if I am.
Sure.
Okay. I don't track to see if I'm in ketosis or anything else like that. I know when my blood sugar's running crazy because I can't see.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes I can't wear my glasses because
Mm-hmm.
everything is blurry. So I know I'm having a good day. When I'm on like this right now to read the chat, the only reason why I need the glasses, or else I wouldn't need them on.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
now Lodeman, Dark Lodeman, he wrote something in here before. It's pretty interesting to me about when you rest. That's when you fast. And I'm a big believer in that. I believe that you eat till you're full, and then that's it.
Yeah.
No more.
I personally, and again, this is just my opinion from what I've seen in the community in the last 4 years. Fasting is a great tool. You know, I use it quite often too. I think overall it's being used too much. People are fasting too much. One meal a day for 99% of the population will not work. You know, I don't want to upset anybody. You know, one meal a day is a tool. If you try and do it every day, it's going to harm you in the long run. because there's no way you can get enough nutrients. That's the problem, is people are eating way too little. Everyone thinks, oh, well, it's this whole calories in, calories out mindset.
Yeah.
Whereas if you really just look at it, it doesn't matter, for myself, I still need 2,300 calories a day.
Yeah.
I can still lose weight on that much. Trying to do that in one meal is really hard, though.
Yeah. And here's how I treat it. Okay. Everything goes in phases. Okay. You have a couple Dr. Fung. Okay. To do the fasting and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Here's how I look at it. Try to put it in simple terms. When you're driving your car, okay, if you go to the store and back, okay, you've gone 2 miles, do you go to the gas station, put gas in it, make sure it's full? No. You wait till it's empty.
Yeah.
And then you fill it up. You fill it up and you can't put no more in. That means the car is full. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're good for another whatever you got to do, how far you got to go until it goes back down to that empty mark. And that's how I look at it. I eat when I'm hungry. Okay. And I eat, normally I say this a lot, people it's misinterpreted. Okay. I don't eat leftovers. That's what I mean by that is we eat everything.
Right.
So if we eat at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, of course we're old. We got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? But if we eat at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I shut things down by 7, 8, whatever, okay, I'll have whatever left over again, or like the cheese, crackers, or whatever we do. So that's it. So I'll have probably scrambled eggs around 12 or 1 o'clock, only because that's when I'm hungry. Okay. So I don't get up and say, it's 7 o'clock, I got to have breakfast. No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I found that worked out for me, Jason, so much better. Okay. And go throughout the day. To turn around and say that I'm fasting on purpose is bullcrap.
Yeah.
I only eat when I'm hungry. Yeah. I eat until I'm full and no more. Plain and simple. So.
I think the biggest problem is that, and there's a lot of people I see in the chat here that seem to understand, what we're talking about here. So, which is good. The problem is that the majority of people have no idea what satiety is. Zero idea.
Yeah.
If you don't really know what it means to be full, then trying to like I say, there's if you're eating the wrong foods, you'll never really know when you're full. That's the way I look at it when I'm talking to people too, is I follow the same sort of theory that you do. When I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. But when I do eat, I get to the point where I know that I just can't eat anymore.
Right.
I'm not stuffed and feeling like I need to lay down and have a nap or anything, but I make sure that I'm full so that I can go that next distance to my next meal.
And you know what the funny part about it is? You're 100% right. But the part of it that people don't realize is that the 3 meal, I urge everybody to go back 5-10 years ago on YouTube and listen to some of the bull dunk that they tell you about eating. Okay.
Yeah.
Have your breakfast, then have 10 o'clock. You have that break time. You're eating constantly. That's all you're doing is eating. Okay. Yeah. So people don't also realize that it takes 90 days for your blood to cycle your system.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why when you go for blood work, it's every 90 days, every 3 months to do a complete full cycle of your blood. All right. So normally it takes almost 24 hours for your body to process whatever you take in. Okay. So you're not giving your body any time to stop and relax when you're constantly shoving junk in your face. It's just a, and here's how I learned that the hard way, because, all right, I'm going to have a mango, okay, after my breakfast. And at 12 o'clock, I'm going to have this and that. I'll have a salad, okay? And then everybody, oh, that's all you do is eat salads and stuff. Well, no. Right. But I was eating 3 or 4 times a day. Okay. And then come 9, 10 o'clock at night. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I can't because I'm on the, a lot of people said to me, oh, you do the keto. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It's completely crazy. And then the different types, you know what I mean? Some people eat this, some people don't eat that. Have this and come on. Eat what makes you happy. Okay.
For
As
sure.
long as it's not sugar or something that's going to turn into sugar, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the thing with the fasting too is that, like I say, I'm all for it being used as a tool. I've done 1 meal a day. I've done 2 meals a day. I've never been one to eat breakfast. Like it's nothing I'm really ever interested. Sometimes on the weekends, but for the most part, breakfast is not a thing with me. And, with the nature of the job that I do, I work on construction sites, and I do a lot of work where I have one day to get a job done. So to me, it's easier to just work through the day and then make sure I have a good meal at night. So I use fasting as a tool. But I think where some people get trapped is trying to make it such a routine that your body gets used to it, and then you get into this routine. And I find the easiest way to keep things going in the direction you want is to just keep your body guessing. Like fasting is a lot of people I've talked to, what works for them is, they'll do the alternate day fasting. So some people for a week, they'll do one day they'll eat, the next day they won't, and then the next day they'll eat. And that works for them too. And it can be, but it's not something you want to do all the time. I think the problem is that people don't realize that at the end of the week, you still need the same amount of calories as you did as if you were eating the 5 days. Because if you don't take that in, your metabolism's not going to adjust to it. Like if you're going to fast for a day, the next day it means you need to feast. You need to eat. You can't fast for a day and then you go the next day and hardly eat anything. You need to get the same amount of calories in. You're just giving your body a break for that day, right? The whole fasting thing, again, I like it.
Hey, Stephen.
And I'll admit that I've used it probably too much, quite a bit in the last 4 years. But, even some of the people like Dr. Fung, who is a really smart guy and he's helped a lot of people, but you have to understand that what he talks about is treatment. It's not for the everyday person. What his protocols are is treatment for people that are really sick. It's not for everybody, right? So,
boy, you just hit the nail on the head with me. You just hit a home run. That is what all of them doctors are that are on YouTube that talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, that have millions of viewers. Okay, that answer select amount of questions. Okay, and you just hit the nail on the head. It's for certain people, for treatment only.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody who's obese, okay, and wants to lose weight fast, well, you try this diet. Okay, try this and try that. Try this and try that. Somebody with type 2, okay, well, here's what you got to do. We'll get you to this point to get off the medication. Getting off some medications is not the right proper thing to do either, in my eyes, okay, because it has other help factors go along with it. Metformin is one, okay, that people, I got to get off that metformin. It's bad for you to say it's bad, blah, 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 blah. Okay, actually, metformin actually helps your liver function a little bit better than, because it was already damaged now from the amount of sugar and carbohydrates that you ran through your body, the abuse it takes, and your liver is the one who takes a lot of abuse until it can't take it no more. So Yeah, some medication. Not that I know anything about it. I'm just saying in my own instance. Okay,
Sure.
I'm at the point in my life now where I'm closer to the end than I am to the middle or the beginning. Right. So, with that said, I need to turn around and find out exactly what's helping me.
Mhm.
And if I need to stay on some medications, getting off medications is not the end all to be all. Okay.
Sure.
The damage I've done to I am lucky, okay, that I have not had any lung issues,
Hmm.
okay, for the amount of cigarettes that I smoked in my life.
Right.
Okay. So, and coming from from the restaurant world and cooking, um, I feel like I'm responsible for a lot of people that, make sure they get potato starch, okay, this and that, and make sure you push the desserts.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that cheesecake was delicious. All right. So I feel like, I feel like kind of a contributor to that end of it. But now, in my golden years, if they want to, you know what it is? It's a rust bucket, and it's nothing golden about it. You're in the rusty years, trying to get around it, and the way I cut things out, and just went back normal.
Mhm.
Okay, you cut it from the field, brought it in the house, you washed it, and you cooked it, and you ate it, plain
Yeah.
and simple. Okay, chicken ain't laying enough eggs. If you had breakfast in the morning, you took the chicken, you wrung his neck, and you ate the chicken at night.
Yeah.
Basically, okay. You didn't drive to a place that had 11 herbs and spices, okay,
Right.
and got a bucket of it, and it just goes on and on and on and on to the point where it's almost like Chinese water torture.
Mhm.
Getting that water drop on your head. Just
Yeah.
got to make sure you eat 3 squares a day. So Dr. Fung, you're right. He turns around and was telling people to do this for certain treatments. Okay.
Mhm.
But if you just follow the easy way around it, guess what? Eat when you're hungry. Okay.
Stop
Stop
when
when
you're
you're
full.
full.
Yeah.
And that's the end of story. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree. And that's what, a lot of people can get into the weeds with
hey,
on
Kenny, how you
YouTube.
doing? I'm sorry. Go
Um,
ahead, Jason. I'm just saying hello to some
yeah.
people in here.
Yeah. And I know, like when I first started keto too, I did a bunch of research and I followed people, started watching like Dr. Berg and,
Oh, that's my guy
who,
started me too.
what's that?
That's who I started watching too.
Yeah. I quickly, realized that, you know, I apologize to anybody that actually likes watching him, but
Especially when he
if
holds up something and says, "Here,
yeah,
try
if
my new green drink."
once you realize that at the end of every video where he talks about an issue that you might have, that he has a pill to fix it, he's no better than big
Bingo.
pharma, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whatever anyone else thinks,
You know what?
that's fine.
Your opinion and my opinion, pretty similar there, buddy.
Yeah. But the problem is that there's such a wide range of, Thomas DeLauer and Ken Berry and, all these people that they all have good information, but, and like I've said, seen people say in the chat too, is that not everybody's the same,
Right.
so you have to unfortunately be able to take information from all sorts of different people,
Make it work for yourself.
and make it work for yourself. Figure out what works for you, and then just go with it. And the hell with what anyone else says about it, really.
Yeah. See, when I first came across your channel, okay, I said, you know what, he has a lot of similar ways about him that I have, okay, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna watch a little bit more, okay, like that, and a lot of this stuff gives me that. Oh yeah, yep, okay, that's right,
Mhm.
okay, and see, but it's a different way of coming in. All right, I watch a couple other people that I do watch about it. Okay. The thing is, um, there's a lot of false information out there. There's a lot
Yes.
of people that are tripping. Um, is that a? Let's see who we got here. There's a lot of things that, or I am not just. I can't say I can't get on board with.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just I can't. Some channels I can't watch. because it's just what it's all about. I just for some odd reason. Now,
Yeah.
I am also not that guy that if you're doing something different, okay, if, vegetarian, okay, I've done it all basically, and
Mhm.
my point is to anybody, I'm not just stuck on keto. You know, if you're in a good keto,
Mhm.
I can't talk to you. If it's working for you, if you see a way in it for you, okay,
Yeah.
it's all it's all gonna work if you stay with it, okay, and make it your own.
Yeah.
Okay, you will get off the medications. You will see a difference. Okay, my only problem that I'm trying to explain to people is if you don't, it's if you don't stick with that kind of lifestyle, whatever, it's going to come back and hit you in the head like a baseball bat.
Mhm.
That's how bad it's going to come back and affect you.
For sure.
So, yeah. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. All we have to do is look at uh, talking about bad information out there. All you have to do is remember things like this whole Liver King thing that came out this week, where he's, this guy's gotten rich telling people he got all jacked and, like he's in his 40s and he's, the pinnacle of health because all he does is eat, ancestral like raw liver and eating all these organ meats. And now it's come out this week that he's basically on steroids and he's basically taking all of these drugs just to look this way. But he's suckered in a lot of people to buy his supplements.
Shante, how you doing, buddy? Cooking with that town too. Do you know Shante from Cooking with that town too?
I don't know.
Jason, I'm telling you, check him out.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to his story, okay, it's me. Identical. Okay. It's the same thing as you, the same stuff. He's a great guy. Matter of fact, he's got his own stuff out. I got to get a hold of most of his stuff too. I'm gonna start doing that. But he's got a great channel. Yeah, I mean, he lives it every day. He lives it. Great guy.
Yeah, I've got it opened up there, so I'll give it a look for sure.
Yeah. He went through that same battle, like we all done. We've all been that, that route. So the false information as far as, but this pill is going to help you. The keto stuff, they put it on with think that was it something tank or whatever. I don't watch regular TV, so I'm trying all these different
whatever it is.
Shark Tank. That's right.
Right.
Trying all these different remedies and shakes and get the hell out of here. Come on, eat normal food. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely a lot out there. Like the only one I do have some. The only one that I will usually buy is these ones, the keto bricks.
Okay, I never had that. I don't know what that
is. So this keto brick from Robert Sykes, Keto Savage. So he's a bodybuilder. So basically this was started as something that he made. So this brick right here, and it's literally a brick, is 1,000 calories.
Okay.
Of basically on point keto macros. So this follows keto to a T. No sugars, good healthy fats and stuff like that. So he started making these as a way to get in his daily macros when he was bodybuilding, and then he started making them to sell. So it's a guilty pleasure. They have, like, this one is a chocolate peanut butter cup one. So it's a keto product, but it's it's one of these things that are one of the few where you can say, oh well, it's 100% good ingredients. You don't have to worry about any of the ingredients. And there's some of the other ones out there, but there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that do replace real foods with convenient foods, which to me, keto ultimately is about replacing that habit of, oh, well, what can I do quick? Okay, instead of making real foods, everyone's still, okay, well, they're eating healthier foods, but they're still in this mindset of, oh, well, I don't have time to make real food, so I'll just eat this shake or meal replacement or whatever.
Yep.
Like I can't really, I can't really get on board with that stuff. Again, I'm not here to say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Like that's not the way to do it. I have no problem with people doing it. It's just not the way that I like to do it. So
I became friends with Alan, Awesome Keto World. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he does things a lot different than I do.
Sure.
Okay. But it worked for him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm glad to see now he's working out a little bit more.
Sure.
Alan's not quite as old as me, but he's catching up. You know what I mean? But he's got a great channel.
Yeah.
But he goes that different way. My daughter, okay. My daughter says, Pop, I just don't have the time to cook the way you cook. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Sure.
I said, let me ask you a question. I said, right now you're talking to me on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're texting me. We're probably gonna text back and forth probably for 40 minutes. Okay, before you stop. That 40-minute time, you could put together a nice meal for your family.
Right.
Okay. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make the time. Okay. I look at it this way. I shouldn't even go there, but when you're laying there and, well, I wish I could have done that way, or wish I should have done it that way, or whatever, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's not like getting hit in the head with a bat or anything and tell you, don't do it. But eat cleaner. I have another friend of mine, a barbecue guy. He's got a nice channel, big channel. All right. And he just got hit with type 2 diabetes, the whole 9 yards. And I know he's having a hard time with it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're beating yourself up all wrong. Start cutting stuff out. You got that point. You didn't get that point like a light switch. It didn't hit you yesterday. Okay.
Right.
This has been building up over years. I said, I was a fat guy, my mid 30s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
30 some years ago. Okay. It's not going to just stop. I'm not going to go back to where I was in my mid 20s. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. But once you start making that change and you start changing, you'll feel yourself different.
For sure.
No, I don't want that. No, I don't want to eat that. So I don't tell people, no, you better not have that. That's
Yeah.
No. We don't do that. Nice and easy. You got to take it nice and easy with stuff.
Yep. Yeah. It's you're right. It's tough when, everybody has sort of been sold this, people think that success is going to happen overnight,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you don't, especially with things like, with keto. And again, that's the first thing I'll tell someone. So if you really want to do this, if we're going to talk about you doing this, you got to commit to 90 days. If you're not going to commit to 90 days, then don't bother, because you're not going to see the real results of it for at least that amount of time, because, if you can do something for 90 days, you can do it for the rest of your life, so that's why I try and point people to, well, don't just do it for 2 weeks, because you're not going to see the benefit in 2 weeks, and you can't form a habit in 2 weeks. So do it as, try and pick a longer time to try and get off of that sugar roller coaster, and then you can make the real change.
I've watched friends of mine that had drug addictions kick drugs faster than they cook sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, just want to answer one question here. Gaming with Steven. Steven, IBS, I mean, there again, I'm not a doctor or scientist, although back in the 70s, I did think I was a scientist, but we won't go there. But IBS, the less you're eating, I guess the better it would be for IBS, but the more you're putting in your system would make that a little bit more difficult. Now, what you're putting in, what you're eating, okay, if you're eating 3-4 times a day with other stuff, sure, it's going to aggravate you. If you start cutting that back a little bit, it might help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Keto, all keto means, okay, is that your body gets put into ketosis. That's what ketogenic means. You're going from burning glucose, which is sugar, into burning ketones, okay, and which in turn starts taking away the fat, okay, and it actually goes to your brain. Gives you a different mindset, actually, give you a little clarity. But you're not always in ketosis. People get that wrong, okay?
Mhm.
You go from being in ketosis, you're going back to where your body produces glucose. Your body actually produces sugar. So when you get it back to a normal level, okay, your brain works both on ketones and also on glucose. So
Mhm.
it'll get to the point where, you know what? Oh, I got too many ketones here. Your liver will start pushing out more sugar, but that's
Mhm.
what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
So if it's designed to put out sugar and you're adding more sugar to it, okay, say, hey, liver's going to say, hey, the hell with this. I'll just let it go. So you're
Mhm.
pounding sugar and pounding sugar. So now you're on a roll. Insulin is one of the wildest hormones you have in your body. Okay, it goes to everywhere. You sprain your ankle, you stub your toe, boom, insulin's there. What's going on
Mhm.
here? He likes that giraffe on that cartoon. Hi, I'm Melman. He's
Yeah.
real nervous and jumpy. That's what insulin does. So the more you pop it in there, guess what? Yeah, with IBS, I would try it for a couple of weeks anyway, see if it affects you. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. IBS is, digestive issues are a real tough one because they can be caused by a lot of different issues, but inflammation caused by insulin resistance is
Hey,
will
Patrick.
cause you know hundreds of different ailments that you might deal with.
Yeah, and type two, the way I understand it, type two is an autoimmune
Hmm.
incident too. So if you have IBS, that could be caused by that.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, like I said, not a doctor, but I know what worked for me, and I
Sure.
was on the way to all that stuff.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
get rid of soy. Yeah, see, Doc Lodeman, he has a lot. He must have been there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Soy
Lindy,
is
how you
another
doing, Lindy? Nice to see you.
soy is another one of those ingredients that there's a lot of entities out there that would rather us be eating soy all day long, but
Yeah. Now I use it sparingly because if you look at regular soy sauce that you buy over, in the store, I get the
Mhm.
Bragg's, and that's basically what it is. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It hasn't bothered. The other stuff bothers me. So
Yeah. Well, most regular soy sauce is full of gluten too, right? So,
yeah,
it's definitely a killer for a lot of people. If you have IBS and digestive issues, then soy sauce is definitely
yeah,
not a
yeah,
great thing.
yeah. Stay away from that at all costs.
Yeah.
There again. See, there again. Okay, he's asking. Will keto affect IBS? Like uh, other things. Sugar will. Eating a donut, will that affect you? Damn right, it's going to affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just there's no nice way of putting it.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, and you just have to remember that, like, once you understand that a lot of these things that we have nowadays, eczema, IBS, a lot of these autoimmune issues are directly connected with insulin resistance.
Yep.
Like, once you realize that what you put in your body is what's going to determine what your body does, like eczema is a good example. Like, my dad had pretty bad eczema, and he sort of cut out a lot of the wheats and sugars from his diet, and a lot of it's cleared out, because it's an autoimmune condition that attacks your skin based on what's in your diet. So it's one of those things where, again, you have to make a choice. Do you want to deal with autoimmune issues, or deal with maybe not being able to eat all the good stuff that we like to eat, right?
Yeah, I got with the type two, I got it to the point where it's control. It's not normal.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm not 60 or 70 or even 80. Okay, I'm well over 100, But the jury's, in my mind, the jury's still out with all that stuff because they don't have a clear picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my wife is just under like with 4 foot. She is okay, 4'11", whatever it is. I'm 6 foot and 242 pounds. All right. So you're telling me that insulin levels are the same, sugar levels are the same in her and me. That guideline I don't buy. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with blood pressure is the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see them take a weightlifter's blood pressure after he gets done lifting weights,
Sure.
and then take his blood pressure. It's
Yeah.
So it's just like a stepping stone to sell drugs, basically, in my
Sure.
mind.
Yeah. Blood pressure is another one of those things that's kind of, you're right. Most of the time when you check your blood pressure is after you've driven through the city to get to your doctor's office, and then you've waited in the waiting room stressing about something you want to see the doctor about. And the first thing they do is they take your blood pressure and, well, okay, surprise, surprise, it's through the roof. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe we should get you on a statin. And it's like, okay, well, but if you'd taken your blood pressure yesterday when you were sitting at home relaxing, well, it's probably close to normal.
Yeah.
So,
and couple of the medications that I'm on for the diabetes, that's going to be the other ones that we're going to be talking about getting off when I go back to see him again.
mm-hmm.
And they're the most expensive ones you can get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in my mind, that's what it's all about. So just by cutting out carbs and potato, I don't cheat. I have this time last year is, like I said before, made the truffles with the monk fruit and all that stuff like that, and I was sorry I did it. Just sorry I did it. But must be the Patrick. Come on up. Patrick's from Australia. Patrick's a great guy. Patty Joe Cooking. Everybody in the chat, drop your write keto. Put keto in and drop your link, so people can back and forth. I know Lindy from Paleo Barbie does keto. Do you know her?
Yep. Yeah.
Good channel.
Around for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of good, and that's another thing. If anyone here is trying to get into things like keto, like I assume most people that are here are very fairly familiar with it. But that's another big thing is that if you can get in with a good community when you're first starting, to get some support with it. Unfortunately, there is a lot of communities out there that will jump all over you if you do something that they don't agree with. But there's also some really good communities out there that are just there to support. So, that's another one of the things I always suggest is,
okay, Patrick,
get into follow someone like yourself for, like I say, I've watched, I don't know if you know Two Crazy Ketos.
Yeah.
Joe and Rachel. I've watched them since they were day one on YouTube. And they've built a really good community. That's one of those communities where, you can go and you can hang out and vent with them. And, nobody ever says a bad thing about anybody. So it's unfortunately that's not always the case with some of these communities, but that's why I started on Instagram. When I was first doing keto, that's where I was, because for the most part, the keto community on Instagram is pretty relaxed and pretty accepting.
Yeah. I can't, for the life of me, I can't navigate through Instagram. I tried. I tried a lot. I don't get it. And I have one niece says to me, Uncle Tom, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, Trumpet, how you doing?
That's the one place where, like I say, even well before I started my YouTube, I broke through 5,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
Back then. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should start YouTube. Maybe I can do something there. But for anyone out there that has a following on Instagram and thinks it's going to relate to YouTube, it's
not going to happen.
Completely different.
Yeah, either venue. I'm TikTok. I put something up on TikTok and somebody said something. I said, "Where do you live?" I'll come knock you right in the head. I said, no,
Yeah.
I have to get off there. It's not my cup
Yeah.
of tea.
Yeah. I put 1 or 2 posts up on TikTok and I'm like, this is just a train wreck. So I
Hey,
didn't stay there.
yeah. Rhonda, if you have no problems with soy, okay, Bragg's makes that liquid aminos. It's actually comes from soy.
Mhm.
That's a pretty good product. But if you have
Yep.
problems with soy, they also have from coconut soy. You know,
Mhm.
a coconut aminos, basically has a little bit of a different taste, but yeah, you can go with that one. Me personally, I would recommend spending the extra money if you have no problems with soy to get the Bragg's liquid aminos. I tell you, it tastes really good, and it has no effect on me whatsoever. And because all the other different additives that they put into a normal bottle of soy that you would buy in the store, over here by me, there's a Oriental store. I think it's a Filipino, whatever. Excuse me. And boy, I tell you what, you read some of that stuff they have in there. So I said, holy crap! I started itching just reading it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is that even with just regular ingredients, what works for one person is, could completely blow the next person up. Like I don't have any problem necessarily with MCT oil. It doesn't really bother me that much, but some other people can try it once and it just destroys them and they can't try it again. Right.
Yeah. Jason, did you go down that rabbit hole with the MCT oil and the coffee and all that stuff?
At first a little bit, but I didn't really, with me, I don't mind trying things.
Yeah.
If I don't see really any benefit from it though, like then I usually try it. I use what I have and then I move on. Um, Usually with coffee for me nowadays, I drink black coffee because I can't handle dairy in my coffee. So I just put some real salt in it. And that's about the way I leave it nowadays.
You have trouble with butter also?
Nope. Butter's fine. It's just the cheese and the heavy whipping cream and stuff like that. So, but I've had those issues for a long time. So I'm not really surprised about that. Thankfully though, butter doesn't bother me because if I couldn't eat butter, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah. I mean, for being a chef all them years, I never ever once shied away from the butter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, back then when they were talking about, butter's no good, fat's no good, stay away from fatty meats and this and that, and the pastas. Well, I had a couple of friends of mine that jogged, and they would laugh at me. Okay. Oh, come on and jog. We'll bring a tow truck in case you fall over. And one of them kind of things. Okay. You know what I mean? Really, really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's dead, and the other one's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay, because they went with that, high carbohydrate, this and that. And one guy, the last time I talked to one guy, he just like said to me, yeah, "Fat bastard, look what he's still going."
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I didn't go. I tried it a couple times with the butter and the MCT oil in my coffee, and so it tasted pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't need it. I
Yeah.
didn't need it.
Yeah.
I used heavy cream up until a month ago, until the price went from $7 for a half a gallon to I think almost $12. So I stopped that, and I got half and half. What they say is very low carb, but on the one I get, but I don't believe it. So I just use a little bit of it.
Sure.
And I go from there. I use butter and everything. When I cook, I use olive oil, avocado oil, and butter, or one, not all of them, all three of them, but I'll use some of them combinations with it. And yeah, I have no problem with that. Dark Loderman, I tell you, you're right there, my man. He's showing Rhonda about the Bragg's organic coconut liquid aminos. Yep, good stuff, all good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the hell of it, I mean, I use. Another thing is when I started the keto lifestyle way back in 2016, I haven't had heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did, once in a while, if I did, I'd take a little Bragg's apple cider vinegar,
Yeah.
8 ounces of water, suck that down. I'm good. But I haven't
Yeah.
had it in years. And I
Yeah.
used to suffer big time from it.
Yeah. Imagine that dosing up on something full of acid to get rid of heartburn.
But then I had my cardiologist tell me, while you're doing that, he said, put a little bit of baking soda and it neutralizes it a little bit better. And how the hell did he say it? It'll help relieve it much faster. It'll cut down the acid that you're taking in.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it won't hurt your teeth as much because if you just drink that acid like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to think about it. The next time I went back to tell him, I says, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I said, your stomach acid will take pain off a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're worried a little bit. He said, well, I was more or less with your teeth, doing that kind of stuff. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. You're best off if you're going to do that as a common thing is to make sure you use a straw when you're drinking it. So it's, getting past your teeth because you're right. It'll definitely, I once in a while I'll have some of it, but that's like some of the nastiest stuff on the planet.
Exactly. I tell you, me and you are on the same page. I mean, holy moly. Yeah. Yeah.
Music Logic's saying TikTok is a dumpster fire. Yeah.
You know what? Not to get off subject here a little bit, but I've been wondering why YouTube's been pushing the shorts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't watch a lot of news or I get involved with political crap. I don't deal with it. I got enough on my plate to worry about just living every day. But since I seem to hear something about where TikTok, they're thinking that they is ran by the Chinese government, which I thought from the beginning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about not doing away with it, banning it.
Yep.
So I'm saying, But then YouTube turns around and says, you know what? If you can get monetized on shorts, okay? You got to have 10 million views.
Yeah. Well, the thing, what the big change is that, or what's really driving this is that all of these creators on TikTok that are, they're getting 15 million views a day are barely making any money doing it.
8%.
Yeah. So whereas YouTube has stepped up and say, look, come over here and do it, and they'll actually make some money. The problem is that, that's great. You've seen my channel. Shorts is, help build the channel that I have now. Right.
Without a doubt.
But what I've noticed is now that they've come out and said, oh, well, we're going to monetize shorts, the algorithm has screwed the small channels. Like I used to get, easily I'd get 2,000-3,000 views on a short. And now I'm lucky if I get 100, since they've made that change.
Jason, you're singing to the choir because you know why? I had one, 10 months ago, just getting into it. And I made a homemade sausage and I made broccoli rabe.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on a plate. Okay. And I took the phone, went around like this, did the view.
Yeah.
Put it up. We went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
My phone did not stop buzzing all night long.
Yeah.
3:00 in the morning, I get up and look, and it had 100,000 hits on it.
Yeah.
What the hell? Marie saying, who's calling you? Nobody called me. Look, I got. So the next day it was up to 170-some thousand, and then it dropped back down to 163,000 on 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you about people's attention span.
Yep. Yep.
A week later, I put one up, and I got 15.
Yeah.
15 views.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't stop making them. I look at it this way. Okay. Now you go back to your long version. If you go on your phone, you can put your video on, look down, it'll say
remix.
Remix.
Yeah, remix, yeah.
And then you can take some duds and put some stuff to it and see if it re-hits. And I tried it. And one, I think it had 72 views early on in my YouTube career. And now it's up to like 90, something like that. So it does work. It does.
Well,
work.
yeah, I've done quite a few of the remixes. I went through and remixed like pretty much all of my old videos, and they all flopped. Nothing did anything on them. Zero. Like I basically, you won't see them on my channel because, you know, if I put them up there and I have 0 views 2 hours later, I just delete it because there's no point in it even being there anymore.
Yeah,
so.
I'm on the same mindset. I put one up the other night. It was an old one. I put up and it got 35 minutes. It had 4 views, and I think I was the 4 views. So I took it and I deleted it. There's no sense, you know, beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I'm not proving a point. I'm trying to get my point across. Okay. Is that there's no diet. There's no set way of eating anything. Okay. You know, eat this, drink this pill, and then walk 6 miles and go back and do it again. You know, that's not my style. Okay. My style is cooking whole foods. Okay. Most of my stuff is no labels. Okay. And I'll say it's keto friendly or low carb. I had a couple of people tell me, why don't you change your name? You would do so much better if you dropped the keto from it. Why? That's what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've sort of gone back and forth on that whole thing too. Like, cause the whole keto niche is, you know, there's a lot of people out there doing it. You know, I've thought about changing my channel's name, but you know, at this point I'm just rolling with it. And
I don't know if you would lose, you know what I'm saying? Or gain. I don't know. It's almost like starting over again.
Sure.
Now we have another channel. My wife does the mysteries and stuff like that. She's on a year now, and she's just starting to take off a little bit. She's, you know, gaining here and there. And I told her, I said, you're in a tough market. You know what I mean? The way she does stuff. But then I have another channel that we both are on. It's only like 18 subscribers, and it's Seniors Food and Life is what I did. And I was putting up some of this. I was trying to combine the two of them, how I cook, and put it on there. But I got no seniors watching it.
Yeah.
Okay. The crowd is 24 to 35. You know, why would you want to be interested in watching an old goat, you know, cook, whatever? So, but what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start doing more like shopping on it, a little bit more talking about you know, vitamin, you know, whatever, or, you know, all that kind of stuff, and see if I can draw an older crowd to it. Just something different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's tough, man.
It is tough, you know, like if you're going, unfortunately, if you're going to commit to something like this, because of the saturation in this niche, you have to do something different. What that is, I don't know. You know, like what I've learned recently, you know, after meeting you and Sheena and Alan and a bunch of other people, is that I think the only real way to grow a channel nowadays is if you do live streams like this. You know, I think that's really important to it. And when I first started doing YouTube, I did a lot of live streams. I was bringing people that I met on Instagram on and doing interviews on StreamYard and recording it and posting it as a live stream kind of thing. But then I got away from doing that for quite a while. So I want to try to get back into it.
I agree with you to a point, but you got to have content.
Oh yeah.
Because people are not going to go back and say, well, you don't go back and rewatch the news.
Right.
Okay. Unless it's a train wreck.
Yeah.
You know, you go back and watch that 1,000 times. But I mean, as far as go back and watch, you know, with a bunch of guys sitting around talking, laughing, ha, 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 ha. Okay. You've seen it once. That's enough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But, and here's where we were going wrong. I feel anyway, because me and Mike, we alternate.
Okay.
Mike does 1 week, I do the next week. We go back and forth like that. And what happened was, it started out really good as far as bringing, you know, but we opened it up and people coming. Next thing you know, you're talking about basketball, fishing.
Sure.
So it takes away from the keto stuff. So we would, as soon as people would come up, we'd start losing.
Mm-hmm.
So this Wednesday coming up, I have Charlie from Cooking Secrets for Men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I switched up my channel a little bit as far as I went with Mediterranean keto, like Tom DeLore. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But totally different from what he talks about and stuff like that. So I started out a different way. And I said before, being that we don't eat as much anymore, so I'm making a little smaller stuff, but it's substantial enough, low carb, to where we can get through the day, make the dinner, different ways, doing things a different way, basically.
Sure.
So what we're going to do is this Wednesday we're going to come up. Charlie's going to come on, and Charlie's been doing Mediterranean for a long time. Now Charlie's family had Italian restaurants and stuff like that, so Charlie knows his way around the kitchen also.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to bring it up different ways that he's doing it, and I'm interested in hearing how he did things that way, and let me put my twist on it.
Sure.
Then I got another brainstorm saying that what I want to do is I want to start Fridays. Here comes Troublemaker. Somebody didn't do the dishes, I don't think.
Hey, hey, Tom, I'm just a little quick to ask you. Summer is about to go live. Do you want to send you a link for the Slim Yo?
Who's that now?
Granny.
Yeah, Granny's. She's going to go live.
Yeah.
Or she wants to come up.
No, she's going live in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, tell her to send her to send it to me.
Okay, Summer, go ahead and send Tom the link.
We'll go over there in a little while.
She said thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, all right, bye.
Go do the dishes.
You, Tom, not me, you.
Not. Charlotte has a great channel too. Charlotte does Granny, Gulf Coast Granny.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of stuff with money saving. She cooks. She has a little homestead. She chickens the whole bit. Funny, so it's a great person.
Yeah,
great contributor. But what I was saying before was, so what I wanted to start doing is on Friday, I want to do bring some people up. I'll send like out invitations and stuff like that, and shout out to channels and stuff like that, and see different ways of doing things. How we cook, they cook, whatever. And I'm going to open up just not to that. I'm going to open up to everybody. Just to get everybody's different take on it, and I think it would be a pretty good idea.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's worth. Like I said, and that's why when I first started, I had a bunch of different people on my channel. I don't know if you know Garvey Goes Keto, or if you ever saw him on Instagram. Or
I don't think so.
He's got a pretty interesting story. Like what was it? He got up over 500 pounds at one point, I think.
Whoa.
And then he lost all the weight, got down like in the 200s, and then he gained it all back again. And then that's when he started keto and lost the weight again. So I brought him on for an interview, and like I say, but if you can bring different people on and that have different, different ways that they've become healthy and done things, and especially with cooking and stuff like that, that's the way to get all the different people involved in the channel, right?
Yeah, I mean, even like I said, even with Alan. I mean, Alan shouted me out the whole bit. Me and Mike, Keto-rific Mike, we started at the same time. I think I started a week before Mike did.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I would put up a video, and I think 3 people, me, Marie, and Mike, would watch my stuff in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then go back to Mike, so Mike did the same thing. But it's not only just loyalty; it's what you feel about a person.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And just like Mike, Mike even tell you, I'm not a cook or anything like that, but this is how Mike lost 100 and some pounds, 110 pounds, 120 pounds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he was doing something right.
Sure.
Okay.
That's a story worth telling for sure.
And his way of talking about things is that baked potato didn't make me fat. Okay.
Mhm.
It was all the other stuff. So I mean,
Sure.
he has a great way of looking at things, easygoing guy, great sense of humor. Okay.
Mhm.
That's why I said to him, hey, would you like to do a live? Me and you do a live. We'll alternate, try to build up our time and stuff together. Yeah.
Sure.
But I think this time, this year coming up, I think I want to change it up a little bit. Like Lindy's here, have Lindy come in, Michelle,
Mhm.
Ventures Keto and stuff. She's great, another great channel and stuff like that. But everybody's got to have a different perspective of it. It's
Mhm.
just not one size fits all. And if you don't do it this way, then we're
Yeah.
not friends no more. That's bullcrap. I don't buy that.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
Yeah, I agree.
well, I think we got 10. I think Granny wants to go up, so I'm going to respect her. And I believe Sheena's up also.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her notification come on. I think she started at 11.
And, see, I'm out on it. And Jason, real quick, see that sign behind me, right there?
Mhm.
It's not easy doing what I'm doing out here.
No doubt.
There's this one guy that I follow. He started following me. He says, I got to go on some kind of diet that's killing me. But his live streams, stuff that he does, he sneaks a camera into these casinos and goes to the buffets.
Oh, jeez.
I said, you're killing me. I mean,
Yeah.
there's miles and miles and miles and miles of desserts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's completely nuts.
Yeah. I've been there once. That's it was the craziest 4 days I've ever had, I think.
And see where I live, it's nice and calm and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But,
Okay.
Man,
This was
I
good.
appreciate you popping up, and please don't ever hesitate. I share you out as much as I can. You got some great stuff, and you need to be heard. Believe me.
Yeah.
Anytime we're up, you want to pop up, you're always welcome. I'm telling you, always, always welcome. I enjoyed tonight so much.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll jump off here and let you do your thing, and we'll see everyone the next time.
Okay, Jason, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna shut her down here. I wasn't planning on staying on this long anyway, but I'm glad Jason come up because you know what? He's got a great channel. Check him out. Please check him out. And like I said, Wednesdays we're going to be doing the keto show with Tom and Mike, but we're going to also bring it up Charlie from Keto Cooking. Keto Cooking. Holy, that's me. Cooking Secrets for Men. And we're going to be discussing the Mediterranean, and I'm going to be discussing the keto side of it. That's what I'm doing now. I just started doing probably about 2 or 3 weeks now. And since I started, I lost another 2 pounds. Now, I don't know if it really has anything to do with it, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So listen, again, thank you, everybody. I'll be seeing you Wednesday, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much.